His appearance is drastically different here. Gone is the designer sweater and fur-lined coat. His eyes now lie behind cheap, plastic-rimmed glasses, which constantly slide down.
Be ready for anything.
His hair is greased, slipped down into a horrendous cowlick at the back.
I have one-of-a-kind
An
items.
oversized, second-hand re-knit sweater.
Your gold is welcome here.
Giving him a frumpy look. The holes in his faded jeans were obviously not added by the designer. The boy stumbles over his feet as he hurries into a chair between Sadie
Everything
and William.
has a price.
His gaze flickers toward
The
Rosalind.
reckoning is at hand. Choose wisely.
He meets her steely gaze, but he turns his full attention onto Sadie. Nikolai Belmont, at your service. Oh, man, Sadie grumbles, pulling away from the offered hand. She leans toward William.
Salama Ashalinore.
William glances at the four-eyed nerd he will be sharing his bedroom with, and sighs.
The dark times will pass.
Figures. Sadie
Hold your
scoots her seat
head
as far away
high.
from Nikolai as she can. Rosalind watches as he darts a glance in her direction. She knows exactly what he sees. Unveiled beauty. The hitch in his breath betrays him. He obviously knows what she is.
The dark times will pass. Keep your wits about you.
Nikolai asks with forced politeness. Leaving, Rosalind says. Her voice trembles slightly as she slings her bag over her shoulder. Aren't you going to eat that? William calls as she leaves her tray of untouched food behind. She does not wait to see if Sadie is following her as she rushes from the cafeteria. The moment she exits the room, Sadie falls back against the wall and throws a hand tragically across her forehead. I'm doomed. This was supposed to be my year. My dreams of a hot live-in boyfriend are ruined. Rosalind clamps her hands tightly on her bag strap, stilling the tremor that threatens to spread to her extremities. Does he know who she is? Surely he has heard stories of her kind, but does he know her exact identity? Even if he does, who would he tell? Chances are the kid is wetting himself right now. His parents probably thought it would be safer in America, with drive-bys and gang wars, as opposed to living in Dracula's hometown.
Our
Boy, were
enemies
they
will
wrong.
fall.
Her stomach coils on a new
We
thought.
will have justice.
What if he has been sent here to spy on her? No, that is ridiculous. He's too young to be a hunter. Where are you going? Sadie calls, as Rosalind stumbles down the hall, away from him, away from humans. She needs to be alone. Bathroom, she manages to say, just before she ducks inside the bleach-soaked room. The smells that inundate her nose do little to still her stomach. She throws open the handicapped stall door, locks it behind her, and embraces the porcelain throne. When the contents of her stomach have been forcefully expelled, Rosalind sits with her head back against the cool tile wall. At some point, the bell rings ending lunch. Voices come and go as the next period begins. Rosalind makes no move to leave. What does she care about skipping class? It's not as if these teachers
The dark
can teach her
times will
anything she does
pass.
not already know. She has lived through the wars, gone to the parties, and studied her way through the entire library at Grand Castle. Rosalind is well educated, impeccably so. A couple hours pass.
I can't
in a
afford
blur of
that.
fears and
I don't have
doubts
enough money.
As Rosalind silently
It's too
walks,
expensive.
cradling her knees to her chest. Could one boy ruin an entire year's worth of planning? If Vladimir finds her here... Rosalind wipes the tears from her eyes. No, she won't let
We
those
will
stupid
have
boys steal
justice.
away the life she's trying to make for herself. She will wait and watch. She's offering threats of dismemberment to keep his mouth shut. When she can no longer stand the eye-burning painful smell, she emerges from her stall. She vaguely remembers the bell ringing 2 more times. Judging by the empty halls, it must be the middle of last period. She breathes a sigh of relief. The risk of running into Nikolai has diminished. Rosalind dreads trying to explain her actions to Sadie. No doubt she looked like a complete nutcase as she dashed into the bathroom. knowing Sadie, she will ask too many questions that Rosalind will not want to answer. Watch out! The shout rings out through the deserted hall. A football whizzes through the air, heading directly for her face. Rosalind's hand snaps up just in time to save her nose from being rearranged. Heavy footfalls announce the arrival of the football's owner. I am so sorry about that. The boy's words choke off as he finds Rosalind staring back at him. Hey, it's you. Her eyes narrow. Pardon? No, I saw you at the game a couple days ago. Rosalind questions, curious as to why his pulse has sped up. The boy has not even been around her long enough to be affected by the hormones leaking from her pores. Rubbing the back of his head, the boy smiles, sheepishly. And I was hoping to run into you sometime. Rosalind tosses the
I
football
can't
into
use
the
that.
air. She catches it easily and hands it back over. Well, it looks like you have succeeded. She turns and heads away. A tall, dark-haired guy at the end of the hall calls out, waving his arms for a return pass, but the boy waves him off. His partner disappears around the corner with a shrug. Wait a second, he calls after her, jogging to catch up. Are you going to let me apologize? I believe you have already done that, Rosalind points out, not slowing her pace. My name is Gabriel, by the way. What's yours? He reaches out, gently placing his hand on her arm to stop her. Rosalind gasps, jerking away as she feels an intense heat radiating out from his hand, like a blowtorch on her bare skin.
I can't use
No
that.
mark, no searing flesh, but the same intense feeling. Gabriel's eyes widen as he reacts to the burn. She stumbles back, shocked to find her senses impaired. Her nose crinkles as she fights to pick up even the tiniest hint of body odor coming from the boys' locker room.
State your business.
Dull before her eyes.
Remember the
Do
sun
not
well.
loiter.
Feels clammy, heart thumping wildly in her ears. Her throat constricts.
What do you
as she
seek?
fights to regain control. What was that? He gasps, staring hard at Rosalind. She doesn't know, but she has no intention of sticking around long enough to let him try it again. The final bell of the day rings, saving her from fumbling through an air.
Remember the sun well.
Doors slam open and a tidal wave of students spills into the hall. Sadie bursts out of the room at the end of the hall, shoving people out of her way as she rushes up to Rosalind. She takes in Rosalind's furrowed brow and Gabriel's glassy-eyed stare. Come on, Sadie demands, yanking her down the hall. Rosalind looks back as Gabriel is swept away by the horde. Thanks, she mutters. Her labored breathing begins to ease. Where the heck have you been? And with Gabriel Marston, no less? Sadie hisses, huddling close. What were you thinking? Rosalind blinks, trying to clear away the confusion fogging her brain. We were only speaking, she pauses, planting her hands on her hips. What is it that you are implying? I'm implying that you're messing with the wrong guy, Rose, Sadie snaps.
The eternal sun guides us. We will have
What
justice.
happened when she messed with Oliver? Rosalind nods, clearing her throat.
I have one-of-a-kind items.
But that does not change the fact that it was an innocent introduction. He was simply apologizing for nearly hitting me with a football.
Salama
Sadie
Ashalinore.
rolls her eyes scathingly as she slams through the side
Everything
exit
has
and
a
stomps
price.
toward William's car. Oh, don't try to patronize me, Rose. I saw the look on his face. If that guy is not smitten with you, I'll give my car to charity. Chapter 6. Oh, not
Shurelaron.
again, Oliver groans, watching Gabriel
Do not
frantically
loiter.
search the growing crowd. I thought we were past this. Gabriel waves off his friend. I nearly took her head off a couple days ago with a football, but I finally did it. I was starting to think I'd dreamed her up. Definitely not, man, Connor says, as he plops his helmet down over his head. That girl is out of this world hot. No way could you dream her up. Oliver punches Connor's helmet, jarring his brain. Shut up, he hisses, as a group of cheerleaders walk by. They might hide their giggles behind pom-poms, but there is no mistaking the
Be ready for anything.
Gabriel Marston. There is not a girl in school who would dare go behind Claire Schofield's back to talk openly with Gabriel. But the desire is definitely there. Not only is he the most popular guy at school and a superstar on the field,
Glory to the
but there are
Sindori.
rumors circulating that he is pretty
State your business.
off the field too. Dude, get your head in the game, Oliver reprimands.
Shorella
Coach shouts at them to huddle up. Tonight is the state qualifiers. Don't screw this one up. Connor nods as they move toward the huddle. I heard from
Yes.
Sarah McClintock that if you win the game tonight, Claire is gonna make it worth it.
Salama Ashalanore.
Baladash, Malanore.
Aside in disgust. Claire is head cheerleader and his longtime girlfriend, but not by choice. Sure, she's pretty to look at, but that's where her attributes come to a grinding halt. Her annoyingly petty personality
Salama
and
Ashalanore.
have never sat well with Gabriel. She flaunts her looks at any
Your
guy
gold
who
is
walks by.
welcome here.
It sickens
The
Gabriel.
reckoning is at hand.
Not long after they started dating,
Choose
false
wisely.
rumors began flying around the school about them. Gabriel was furious when he discovered Claire was making their relationship out to be a sordid love affair, but there was little he could do about it. The more he denied it, the more Claire ramped up the dirty details. Every male in the
Remember
entire
the
school
sun
envies
well.
him. If only they knew the truth. Gabriel is trapped. His father, Steve, would throw him to the curb if he ever dared embarrass him in front of Claire's dad, a snake of a politician who is known for having Steve's law firm tucked securely in his back pocket. Gabriel has spent the past 4 years despising Steve for placing him in this situation, but at his mother's request, and for the sake of peace in their fragmented family, he submitted. But only for his mother's sake. This is not the life Gabriel wants, but no one seems to notice. Everyone views him as some rich playboy with a bright future. After this game, a full-ride scholarship to an Ivy League school is almost a sure thing.
That's still the charger.
Steve has
I
learned
can't pass
what Gabriel wants in life. All he cares about is his image. Pride will not allow him to let Gabriel pursue the career he wants.
That's still the charger.
And along with that comes the shackles of Claire's.
I can't pass that. I don't have a target. I need a target.
Gabriel says as he calls his teammates around him. This game is too crucial to let someone like Claire.
That spell isn't ready.
Chapter 7. Can you believe
That's still the charger. I don't have a target.
Sadie squeals, bouncing up and down on the metal bleachers.
I can't cast that yet. I need to target something
Such a
first.
spectacular game. The final score was 21-14, and Gabriel Marston is the talk of the
That
night.
spell isn't ready.
This topic is one that Rosalind would rather avoid, especially since she can't seem to get his face out of her mind.
That's still the charger.
His affectionate touch has begun to haunt her dreams. Rosalind rubs her arm, trying
I can't
to
attack
chill
that
she
target.
does not actually feel. As if her nerves weren't already frayed enough, she now has to deal with the green-eyed monster sitting behind
I
her.
can't attack that.
She can literally feel Nikolai's gaze boring into the back of her head. If she is not careful, she might just be tempted to maim the boy. Thankfully, Sadie forced him to sit 2 rows behind them after she went ballistic on him for spilling hot chocolate on the back of her coat. For the life of me, I cannot imagine why you invited him, Rosalind mutters, hunching lower in her coat. She flips up the collar and stares fixedly.
I can't cast
Need me. She seems determined to make me play nice. William scoffs, yelling, "That's going to happen." A grin spreads across Rosalind's face.
that spell isn't ready.
Time and Sadie will rip Nikolai's head off for her. The guy is really creepy. Sadie shudders. Her spirits visually.
I can't cast that.
All he does is ask. Sadie shrugs. It's all really random stuff, like, do you ever go to church? Do you ever go outside of
Baladash
the
Malanore.
Like,
We will have justice.
Totally
Salama Ashalanore.
Rosalind ducks her head, hiding her frown. So, he thinks he knows all about her. Too bad he has been sucked into all of the silly vampire myths.